Greetings comic book fans and welcome to the Dude Cave. I'm Jason and you are watching Comic Haul Weekly for the second week of May 2016. This is my weekly video where I share with you the brand new comics I've picked up this week and discuss briefly what I'm expecting from them and what I've enjoyed about the books thus far. So, not as big a pile this week of books, thankfully. First up, I've got a couple of books off eBay. We have the X-Files, issue number 1. This was $4.99. I got it cheaper on eBay than I would have got in the shops. So I didn't pay like the $4.99. But to me it's interesting that like a few years ago you wouldn't have seen any, like it would have been rare to see a $4.99 book. Now it's like even the indies, all the books are going over to $3.99. $2.99's a dying breed, and $4.99 even now amongst the indie companies is becoming a much more common sight than it was a few years ago. So it just kind of shows you the influence that the market leader Marvel have on overall comics, which is not a good thing for us people that like to buy comics. But yeah, I love the X-Files. I love the show coming back, and the idea that this is set during that mini-series that when they came back, I was intrigued, so I'm looking forward to reading that one. We then have the Unbelievable Gwenpool, issue number 0. Also a $4.99 book, which I got a lot cheaper on eBay. For some reason, I forgot to pick this up in my comic shop last week, so I ordered it off eBay. That's one good thing these days. If you forget a book and your comic shop sold out of it, there's a lot more avenues to kind of explore to get that book. We then have issue number 1 of Renata Jones, the 1%. It's written by this bloke here, Kyle Andrews. He did Iron Fist the Living Weapon last year, which I really enjoyed. Very much like that. This is like a book he does. He writes it, he draws it, he inks it, he colours it. He's the sole creative force behind this book. And I just find that fascinating to see that kind of vision, because no matter how great a communicator you are, people are still going to interpret things in their own ways. To see somebody with just a unified vision doing the whole book themselves, I find fascinating. The idea of the book also I find interesting is this character is a kind of like a vigilante, but he's going after the 1%. That's the rich and the influential who basically make all the decisions in the world, and he's kind of this vigilante that's going after them. I like that idea, so I'm looking forward to reading that. This was a $3.99 book, I think. I can't see a price on it, but again I picked it up cheaper on eBay. It was a book, some places are selling it for like £7, which is like double what it was when it came out. Other places you can get it around the same price or cheaper of when it came out. But yeah, I picked this one up, look forward to reading that one. Always enjoy seeing that kind of vision. These are the books I've picked up for this week. We have, first up, we have 2000 AD, issue number 1980 or 1980. I'm a bit behind with 2000 AD. I've got about 3 issues to read, but I enjoy it. As I always say, it's just that different style of writing, because we're in a regular, like most comics these days, you have what, like around 25-30 pages to tell a story each issue, and you have like 6 issues is your average arc. Some arcs are smaller, some are like that kind of stuff. You do get occasionally get some longer than that, but you basically that's how long you've got to tell the story, and to have like 25 to 30 pages each issue, you can get a good slice of story. The challenge here is they've got like the stories might go for about 12 issues sometimes, but each issue you only have 6 pages to tell a story. And you've got to kind of advance your plot, you've got to have a cliffhanger, you've got to resolve the previous cliffhanger, while at the same time moving your story on and having a cohesive story at the centre that you can follow, and that can work as a kind of like separate chunks or as one big chunk. So I think it's a totally different kind of skill set to write this, and I just find that fascinating. And also I love my sci-fi and there's some fantastic ideas in there, so I always enjoy a bit of 2000 AD. We then have Scarlet Witch, issue number 6. This came out last week. Ron Richards on iFanboy podcast talked about this and it sounded really awesome, so I decided to give it a whirl. The basic premise of the story is Scarlet Witch has this friend, kind of like Angel, he has wings, and his wife died in the Paris terror attacks. and he's kind of having a tough time dealing with this, and he can no longer fly. The wings work, but he can no longer fly, and I kind of get the metaphor there. The fact that, like, when you lose somebody so special in your life, that you kind of feel like you've lost your magic, because you're hurting so much from losing that person. It's like you've lost a piece of yourself. So I kind of really like the metaphor there. Maybe I'm just getting sappy in my old age, I don't know. But I really like that, and so Scarlet Witch tries to help him kind of get over the loss, which you're not going to get over it totally, but kind of come to terms with the loss of his wife and be able to fly again. So I really like this story, sounds really good, so I thought I'll give that one a whirl. Look forward to reading that. We then have Deadpool, issue number 11. This has been really good. I'm loving the whole story of Deadpool killed his parents, but he has no memory of doing it, and he thinks Sabretooth killed his parents. And Sabretooth knows the truth, but because Sabretooth's like a good guy now, he does not want Deadpool to have to carry that weight, so he's taking that on himself. But Deadpool has kind of like, and it looked like last issue like they were going to go their separate ways, but then Deadpool switched on him at the last second, and now he's kind of come up with this diabolical way to kill Sabretooth once and for all, so to get his revenge. So I'm really liking this and where they're going. Is Deadpool going to learn the truth? If he does, how's he going to cope with that? So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this, and to see the resolution of this story and how it's going to go. Like I say, is Deadpool going to learn the truth, or is Sabretooth kind of going to die and then they're going to come up with a way to bring him back? Yeah, I'm looking, because is it Sabretooth's currently in Uncanny X-Men, so you kind of think they're not going to kill him off. So there's got to be a way around this. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this is going to conclude. I've been really enjoying Deadpool lately. My Deadpool fever is still strong. I thought maybe a couple of months after the movie it might dissipate, but I'm still really enjoying Deadpool. I kind of want to get the entire run of the last series that come out of Deadpool. The problem at the moment is some of the issues are ridiculously priced, even on eBay, and you know, it's going to cost a lot to kind of do that. So for like the time being, I've got my other projects I'm doing. I'm going to kind of try and get in all the Conan the Avenger issues from Dark Horse. That's going to be my current project, and then maybe in a couple of months when like Deadpool fever's died down on eBay, maybe I can go then and get the back issues that I want to get. We then have a Black Panther issue number 2. I really enjoyed the first issue of this. I've never read a Black Panther book, but I've read him in other books like the Ultimates or New Avengers or Fantastic Four when he's popped up from time to time. So it's a character I've always kind of wanted to see in a solo run, but it just kind of never coincided with when I was buying comics. Now it has, and I kind of like that this is a more political book, showing like the troubles that are going on in Wakanda, and I think that's a kind of interesting take to have with the character here. So yeah, looking forward to getting into that. We have All New, All Different Avengers, issue number 9. I think they published some of this in, I'm not sure, they may publish some of this in the Free Comic Book Day book, but I'm looking forward to seeing this new Wasp. It says the All New, All Different Wasp, and from the Free Comic Book Day book, he was a different character, it seems. So I'm looking forward to finding out more about this character and how she's going to fit into the Avengers. So yeah, that should be good. We then have the Unbelievable Gwenpool, issue number 2. I really enjoyed the first issue of this. It was kind of like a fun book, and then kind of like at the last few pages, the consequences of Gwenpool's actions came home to roost, which I really liked how they did that. Totally pulled the rug from under you. It looks like I've got us a Thunder 4 in this issue, so that should be fun, seeing her go up against Gwenpool. And I'm really looking forward to seeing where Gwenpool's going to go now. Is she going to have that same kind of, like the first issue, of not taking things seriously, or a kind of the events at the end of last issue, are they going to have a real impact on it? So I'm looking forward to that. We have All New X-Men, issue number 9. This was a $4.99 book. It kicks off the All New X-Men part of the Apocalypse Wars. They're kind of separate stories, so you don't have to be buying all of them, because they are pretty much separate stories. It looks like this one's going to center around Kid Apocalypse, which makes sense. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into this. I don't know if we're going to kind of deal with the other stuff that's been going on in the book, you know, because there's been things going on with Beast, with Wolverine and Angel, with Cyclops, with Iceman. So all the characters have kind of got their things that they're dealing with. I don't know how much of that we're going to get in this issue, and how much is going to concentrate on Kid Apocalypse. So that'll be interesting to see. We then have the Adventures of Archer and Armstrong. I can't quite make this cover out, because you got that black bit there. Yes, I can't quite make my mind. Is it supposed to be like a side view of his face, or is it whole of his face? I can't make my mind up. But anyway, I've really been enjoying this book. It's been a lot of fun. Basically, Armstrong is this kind of immortal character. He's the brother of the Eternal Warrior and Ivor Time Walker, and he's this immortal character who's basically a drunk, and he has this bag, and the bag is basically like the TARDIS in that it's bigger on the inside, and he has all this stuff stashed away. And a former friend died, and he went in his bag to find this bottle of booze that he'd saved, that kind of he associates with his friend, kind of to drink in his memory. But then he gets lost in the bag, so Archer goes in after him, and you know, there's all kinds of shenanigans of things that are in the bag that are escaping. It's a lot of fun, this book is. I've really been enjoying it. I kind of went into it a bit nervous because I did not like Quantum and Woody, and I kind of was worried that this was going to be in the same vein, but this is so much better than Quantum and Woody. And if you want a fun book, this is definitely a good read to have. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what's next in that book. We then have Batman issue number 52, which some of these books I think they wanted issue 52 for the sake of it. It's a shame the last issue of this series could have been issue 51, because I think that concluded the story so beautifully and concluded the whole kind of series so beautifully. And I just feel that this is kind of, it feels like an afterthought, and it doesn't feel necessary. So I'm hoping reading it, it's going to change my mind on this. But I kind of, my heart, I feel that last issue, issue 51, was such a perfect send-off that I don't know why they're doing it. We then have Doctor Who, the 12th Doctor Adventures Year 2, issue number 5. A nice Clara cover there. You see, you have the different versions of Clara's, and I like how in the like the little baubles that they've got, that you've got the different Doctors. I think this is starting a new story. I think we concluded the last story, didn't we? Yeah, the Sea Devil story that concluded last issue. So we've got a brand new story in here to kicking off. I've been enjoying this book. I think that all the Doctor Who books have been good, except for like the 11th Doctor one, whether it's year 1 or year 2. The 11th Doctor book I've not enjoyed the most, because generally they've gone for like longer stories in those books, where this book and the 10th Doctor book, they seem to have shorter stories, kind of, so there's different adventures, which I find I enjoy more than the method they're taking with the 11th Doctor. So yeah, looking forward to getting into a new 12th Doctor story there. We then have Star Wars Darth Vader, issue number 20. They announced today, I believe, that issue 25 is going to be the final issue of this, which I kind of have mixed feelings on. I kind of feel that the book couldn't have gone on forever, because it would have been difficult to have had enough story. So I kind of respect the fact that they're not going to keep flogging the dead horse, that they've got a definitive end. Yeah, I'm sure, you know, yeah, I'm going to miss it, but I'm sure they're going to replace it with another Star Wars book, that they'll announce, you know, in a few months that there's going to be another Star Wars book. But I'm enjoying this, and it does feel like the story's kind of reaching ahead, so I like that. I also really love this cover, and this book has had some really great covers, so I'm looking forward to seeing this, because like it feels like all these different plots are kind of coming to a head now. So I'm really looking forward this issue to kind of see Vader returning to Coruscant, see what's going on with the Emperor, and there's that Inspector as well, who like, what's going to go on there. So yeah, getting good. I'm hoping as well that Dr. Alpha and Vader will have a reunion by the end of the series. We then have the Ultimates issue number 7. Loving this book. It's been really good. The Ultimates are basically this team that deal with problems. So like the first 2 issues, they solve the problem of Galactus, and he's no longer a devourer of worlds. He's now a life bringer and goes around bringing life to the worlds that he's destroyed. So I really like that. Last issue we saw Thanos. Looks like he's been the one who has chained up eternity, and so that it's never going to be a good thing, and this is going to be maybe a problem too big for the Ultimates to solve. So I'm looking forward to this. It has been a really good book, and I think one of the best and most underrated books that Marvel are putting out right now. If you like your cosmic stuff, this is a must read. It's been great stuff. We then have 4000 AD Manowar issue number 1. From the cover, it looks like we're going to find out more about the Manowar armor that Rai used in the first issue of 4001 AD. So that should be good, so I look forward to that. I don't know, the thing usually with these type of books, they have a different kind of approach, Valiant do, to kind of tie-ins, where Marvel will very much, their tie-in will kind of be going on at the same time as the main kind of book. This kind of adds extra meat to the bone of the story. So like this issue, looks like we're gonna learn more about that Manowar armor, so we know more of the backstory to it. And that's kind of how they approach their books. They kind of give extra weight to the main story without really being that essential. So if you're really enjoying that story and you want extra, this book kind of allows that main story have more depth, but it's not an essential read. So I kind of like that. So it's up to the individual whether you get it or not, which is good. And Manowar is my favourite Valiant character, so I'm always up for a bit of extra Manowar. And finally this week, my final book, it is The Vision, issue number 7. This book is just messed up. Some of the stuff that goes on in the book, it just boggles your mind that Marvel are putting out this book. The stuff that they get away, like, because it is quite dark and quite weird, but at the same time, totally, it's like when you watch one of those horror movies, and you know a scene's going to be scary, and you know you don't want to look, but you can't turn away. You've got to look. You're kind of frozen, and you've got to look, even though you don't want to look, but you got to look. And that's kind of like this book. Is you know it's weird, you know it's bizarre, you know it's going some mad places, but you can't look away. You're just like totally gripped. So yeah, really great stuff. It'd be interesting when Tom King finished writing this, whether they'll continue the run or whether they'll finish it and restart it from 1, because I think this book is so different. It's kind of own thing. So I think anybody who kind of follows it, if they're going to take it down your typical superhero stance, I think that would be better if they started it from 1. But yeah, look, I'm always looking forward to this. I like my books this week. I'm in reading order, and I always usually try and have at the top some of the books I'm really looking forward to, and I'll have a few books I'm looking forward to at the bottom as well, just so that like I end the week on a positive. So yeah, I'm super psyched to get to this one and see what's going to happen next. So that's me done for another week. I will be back early next week with a review video, and then back this time next week with another haul video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've had a great comic book week. Please, if you enjoyed this video, give me those beautiful thumbs up. As I said, I will be back next week. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you all continue to have a great week. All that leaves me to say is that I've been Jason. This has been Comic Book Weekly, coming to you from the Dude Cave. Keep reading, and bye for now.